Good evening. Welcome to the Wednesday, July 2nd, 2025 meeting of the Gaithersburg Planning Commission. Hello, everybody. Hope you're well tonight. We have a fairly compact agenda tonight, but first up is the approval of our minutes from June 18th, 2025. Is there a motion, please?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the minutes of June 18th, 2025, as written in the record.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That passes unanimously. And that takes us to a recommendation to the Board of Appeals for BOA-10045-2025, special exception for rooftop telecommunications facility at 177 Kentlands Boulevard in the MXD Mixed-Use Development Zone. And again, this is a recommendation to the Board of Appeals. And it looks like Caroline Seiden is presenting from staff. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. This is a recommendation to Board of Appeals on special exception case BOA 10045-2025 for a rooftop telecommunications facility at 177 Kentlands Boulevard. The aerial should be on the screen. 177 Kentlands Boulevard is bounded to the south by Kentlands Boulevard near the traffic circle, to the west, Market Street, to the east, an unnamed driveway, and their parking lot in the rear. The subject property is zoned MXD, Mixed Use Development Zone, pursuant to Section 24-4.1 of the City Zoning Ordinance. Telecommunications facilities are permitted as a special exception in the MXD zone. Additionally, all telecommunications facilities must comply with the requirements of Section 24-5.7. I'm going to turn the presentation over to Corinne Smallwood of Network Building and Consulting. She is here representing the carrier, who is T-Mobile.
Great. Thanks. Good evening.
Thank you, Caroline. Good evening. Hi, I'm Corinne Smallwood. I'm here with Network Building and Consulting on behalf of T-Mobile. I have a brief presentation here to discuss the project further. T-Mobile is requesting a special exception relief to install a rooftop telecommunications facility to enhance the wireless coverage and capacity for T-Mobile customers in the surrounding area, addressing the increased demand. T-Mobile is proposing to install 9 antennas and additional ancillary equipment within 2 proposed concealment structures on the rooftop of 177 Kentlands Boulevard. Some background on the project. T-Mobile, the proposed facility is designed to visually integrate with the existing infrastructure of the building and the surrounding buildings in the area. The 2 proposed concealment structures will house the telecommunications equipment to match the building's current existing character. So the installation will benefit the residents, businesses, and emergency services within Gaithersburg. Coverage maps were submitted with the application to show the need of the coverage and capacity for T-Mobile customers in the area. And based on the satisfaction of the criteria and conditions within code, the proposed telecommunications facility for T-Mobile would be in harmony with the zoning regulations. This is a photograph of, it's a photo simulation of what the stealth box on the rooftop of the building would look like. I have a few other photos as well. Here is the site plan from afar showing the parcel and the building that the telecommunications facility is proposed. This is an aerial view of the plan itself. You can see to my screen, the left is one of the concealment structures, which would house 3 antennas, and the structure to the right at the bottom of the building there is housing 6 antennas, as well as the additional equipment. This is an elevation view showing what the structures would look like on top of the building. And I have some additional photo simulations of the proposed as well. Here are where the photos were taken, the different viewpoints, showing what the structures would look like from a passerby. This is from Kentlands Boulevard. So this is the existing building itself. And this is what the concealment structure on top of the building would look like. This is from Market Street, existing, and the proposed. And I do have these as well. I would like to share this is the matching of the stealth material. So the white color would go on top to kind of mimic what the building looks like. Here's existing, again, from the view southeast Kentlands Boulevard, and the proposed. And then from this angle, the structure is not visible. Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy to answer any questions at
Questions?
this time.
I want to say we've seen on some other similar projects a wall finish that more closely mimics brick than just, so you're proposing a solid color or?
This is a solid color proposed,
Okay.
yes.
Are you familiar with something that looks more?
I am, yes, if that, so we are working directly with the property owner, the landlord here, and they are okay and willing with the solid color, but that is
Okay.
an option if
Just
if
curious.
needed.
All right.
Just out of curiosity, the antennas seem to be getting smaller and smaller every year. These are fairly tall in comparison to what I've seen with the other companies. Is there a reason for that? I mean, you have nine antennas going up there.
Sure. So the reason the antennas we have seen get smaller, we also have seen a couple designs get a little bit larger over the past couple of years, but it's really just for any future equipment. If we need to install future ancillary equipment, just to have the room to not have to redesign the structures in the future. But this design is as small as what they're trying to
And nine
accomplish.
antennas, I mean, that's.
Yes, so 6 antennas will be in one box, and then 3 antennas in the smaller
Smaller box.
structure. Yep.
All right. Any other questions? Since the cameras don't point out to the audience, I'll ask if anybody out there would like to comment. And just to be clear, there is nobody out there. And then I'll go online. If anybody online would like to comment on the application, please hit the raise hand button. Well, I can't see the raise hand button itself. I will see if you've raised the hand. So give you a second to do that. In the meantime, Caroline, what's the recommendation, please?
So before I give my recommendation, I just wanted to mention there were originally in the staff report 5 conditions. I am going to recommend removing actually 2 of them. Condition number 2 and condition number 5. And condition number 2 basically was all kind of a holdover requirement from our old zoning ordinance. So really not necessary for them to come back with coverage maps after the fact, because one of the reasons is that most of the time now we're talking about capacity at this point and not coverage. So that's kind of hard to show on the coverage map. And we didn't have the materials before tonight, but now we have the materials. So I'm proposing taking out conditions number 2 and 5.
Okay.
So unless anybody, no one's raising their hand,
All
I
right.
assume. Staff recommends that the Planning Commission, based on the exhibits submitted, the applicant's testimony, and the staff report findings and recommendation, recommend approval of BOA 10045-2025 to the Board of Appeals, finding it in compliance with Section 24-12.7C of the City Code with 3 conditions as listed.
What are you thinking?
Could you hold up the brick or the red sample again? Yeah, I guess my only thought is I'm not sure we should remove condition number 5. I think in the context of looking at these buildings, the difference between a brick facade below and a solid monolith of that red, while the color is right, I think it is going to stick out. It's not going to look like it's part of the same building. So if there's a material that mimics the brick, I think it's fine for that to be something that's worked out with staff. But I think my opinion would be we should get something that blends more, because that is going to stick out.
I mean, yeah, I was kind of thinking about it, but I guess you articulated it.
Yeah, I mean when you look at the photo, the photo
Yeah.
simulations, especially coming up as you come into the Kentlands,
Right.
that having a band at the top, those 2 screen walls that's just solid red, when you've got a building of brick with color variation and joint lines and all that, it's gonna stick out, I think.
I'm curious if the property owner specifically did not want the brick. Is that an
I
issue?
have not been working directly with
Okay.
him, but if that is something that I can get communication
We can continue to
from, or-
work with
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, and I think there's some good examples already up. And it might
Oh,
be
yeah, there are.
building that's at where Market Street East and
Yep.
West split.
Lakelands, yeah.
Yeah, so you can point to that as at least one example. The other thing to consider, if that doesn't work or you want another way to think about it, sometimes the color of a rooftop screen not being the wall below it makes it disappear more. You know, mid-tone gray, something that's, you know, basically sky and anonymous. But I think we should probably look at a brick-like finish.
Okay, well, we'll leave that in then.
Okay. Is it paint? Is it essentially got to be that finish, or is it more of a Kynara metal, or what is it?
It's an RF friendly like material. But if they were to do a brick finish, we have seen it painted before, or
Okay.
kind of like the material itself, grooves.
Probably
type.
paint then, some kind of baked on thing. Okay. All right. Any other concerns, questions?
No, it's just good that.
Much better than
I
tackling.
do appreciate the fact that they're thinking of down the road, that they may need additional capacity later, so I appreciate that.
I've got a dead spot by my house, so that's very good. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, you mean that? I was talking about the grass.
No, that.
Okay. All right. Any other concerns? Okay, to move this forward. So staff is recommending approval to the Board of Appeals, and we're going to leave condition 5 in for some additional work based on direction
So we
tonight.
have 4 conditions then.
Okay. Is there a motion, please?
Mr. Chair, I move that the Planning Commission, based on the exhibit submitted, applicant's testimony, staff report, finding, and recommendations, recommend approval of BOA 10045-2025 to the Board of Appeals, finding it in compliance with Section 24-12.7C of the City Code with 4 conditions as listed.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That passes unanimously. Thanks very much.
Thank
Appreciate
you
your
so much.
presentation.
Happy 4th.
Happy 4th. Thank you.
Okay, that takes us to from the commission. Danny, may I start with you, please?
I'm just happy to see you.
Happy to be here. Thank you.
I mean, I'm happy to see my other colleagues, but I haven't seen you in a bit, so
Gotcha.
good to see you.
Appreciate that. Phil, anything tonight?
Nope, nothing for me.
Lloyd, tonight?
Everybody be safe for the 4th of July.
Absolutely. All right, from staff. Jasmine, you want to jump in?
Just a couple of things. On July 7th is the joint public hearing for the CarMax rezoning application. And the next Planning Commission meeting is on July 16th. And we clearly want to do a quick test. The city's moving away from Zoom and want to do a Teams. So we kind of want to do a quick test to see someone from the public, how would that would look like. So we
Okay.
if you look on the screen, we currently have a hand raised.
Okay, and that's Brian Helms. Mr. Helms, would you like to speak tonight?
Good evening. This is Brian Helms from the city's Information Technology Department. I appreciate your time and participating in this audio test, and hope everyone has a great 4th of July.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You did have a little sputtering there when you first started. Is that sound kind of cut in and out a little?
It
Try it
might be
again.
because I'm in the it may be because I'm in the room right next door. Mic test 1 2 3. Microphone test 1 2 3.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Sounds good. All right, thanks. Anything else you want to try
No,
out with?
That's it. All I
That's-
have. That's,
okay.
Will you
that's
send us
it.
a notice on the, for the meeting on the 7th?
I'm sorry.
Will you send us a notice for the
Yes.
meeting on the 7th?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Caroline, thanks for being here for the one and only agenda item we had.
Thank you for being here.
Greg, Frank, anything?
Sure, I have a quick update. So we've been eagerly getting the word out on the master plan update, and we've been at a couple different events recently, trying to just again let people know about the project and what we're working on. Most recently, we were at the Summerfest this past weekend. We had great turnout, I would say, and was very successful from the planning side of things as it relates to getting the word out. I think we have about 80 people now that have been registered for updates. So I'd recommend anyone who's interested to go to the city's project page where they can also register to get updates on the project. We've also done a webinar to kind of do an introduction of the project that will be posted on the web on that project page as well. And we've been attending the Casey Farmers Market again
good.
to try to again get the word out. So again, early in the stages still, but so far I would say fairly successful in our engagement to get the word out on the project.
Great. So what's the what is just sort of the general schedule? What are the big
It's
milestones?
about a 2 to 2.5 year project, I would
Okay.
say.
Okay. So we'll see the first activity probably later this year.
Yeah, probably, we have, hoping to do a work session, joint work session with the council and the planning commission after the August break in September, where we'll go over the updates to the visioning data analysis.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you. Anything else over there?
That's all I got.
All right. Thanks, Frank. All right. If there's nothing else, have a good evening. We're adjourned.